Hi, I'm Carolyn Wainscott, and this is my Socksy Monkey baby quilt pattern. The pattern includes the large monkey, which is 24 inches, or you can make a 12-inch block, whichever you prefer, or combine them the way I did in this quilt. Now, I had this beautiful African animal fabric in my stash for a long time, and I decided to use it in the background for the Socksy monkey. There's also sock monkey fabric out there and all kinds of really cute other monkey fabrics that you can use for the quilt. To applique the monkeys onto the background fabrics, I used blanket stitch. The blanket stitch for this larger monkey was set at a wider pattern, and then for the smaller monkeys I shortened the stitch so it would be more in proportion to the small 12-inch applique. So let's get started putting these blocks together. Most of the small work has been done. The center sock monkey is done except for putting his eyes on, and I put that off till I change color threads. So he's ready to applique onto his block. And the small sock monkeys for the 12.5-inch block, they are almost ready to go together. And the tails got their little white tips, and the hands are on, and the feet. And I'm going to show you how to sew these small pieces together. To sew pieces together that have a curve, fold it in half so that you have a mark to go by. This is the sock monkey face, and this is his hat. I'm going to make a pinch mark on the hat also. That way I have a match mark for them. Secure that with a pin and walk it over to the edge. And when we start into the next curve, reach underneath the bottom piece and kind of curve it around so that it's going to meet the top piece. And it's a little easier with a larger piece of fabric, but this is the last piece I've got to do. This is how the feet and hands for sock monkeys were put together and sewn together. And when that's pressed out, it'll be just fine. Going to do the same thing with the muzzle. And you have a pretty good curving piece. And this is done. Now the ears get put on, and the head and the body goes together. The smaller pieces, especially for these eyes, have fusible interfacing ironed onto the back so that they won't ravel, and I don't have to turn the edges under. I'm using my free motion quilting foot, also called a hopping foot. I use this for my free motion thread painting. Pulling up my bottom thread so I don't get a thread mess, just like with any other sewing project. And I can make as much threading on here as I want, or as little. That seems just about enough. I could have just done embroidery, machine embroidery, using the same method. But this way I don't have to do as much fill. So the sock monkey is ready for appliquing onto the background. This is my favorite method of applique. All the sock monkey appliques are completed. I did a small blanket stitch around the smaller pieces, and they were also appliqued on using this same method. I'm using a fusible interfacing. This particular brand is Pellon. I'm not advertising Pellon. They don't pay me. I buy what's on sale. This is very lightweight. There's a sticky side, and the front of the applique will be placed down onto the sticky side. I watched Eleanor Burns do this years ago, and I've used the same applique method ever since. Love Eleanor Burns. So I'll be sewing around the outside of each of the sock monkeys, and then I'll show you where to go from there. This is the last sock monkey to trim out. The applique has been sewn on to the fusible interfacing, and I'll be clipping it very close to the seam and clip into each V as close as you can get, being careful not to clip into the seam. And if you clip around just about 1/8 of an inch away from the seam, then you won't have to clip on the curves, and it'll still turn nicely. Here's another V to clip into. So sock monkey is completely trimmed around, and now that I have a complete mess all over my clothes, remember the fusee is facing the outside of the monkey, and this is where the Eleanor Burns magic comes in handy. Going to make a slit into the back, and sock monkey will be turned right side out. I'm going to take my very expensive turning tools and turn all his parts. These are big milkshake straws. They come in very handy. This is a chopstick or skewer. For the mouth on each sock monkey, I'm just running a row of zigzag stitches. I don't have a presser foot on the ankle, but I do have the presser foot lever down because my machine won't run without the presser foot lever down. You can do a lot of thread painting this way. You can also quilt this way. I have dropped the feed dogs. And I've got a somewhat zigzaggy mouth here. And he needs a couple of nostrils for his nose. So I'm just going to kind of do a circle thing here. I think I'll go back to a single stitch though, straight stitch, so I can make my own circle. And you can hear my son in the background. He's outside mowing today. And there's Sock Monkey's nose and mouth. Thank you for watching the Socksy Monkey video, and if you're interested in making a Socksy Monkey quilt, the pattern is available at the address on your screen.